I got to end up with just talking about something that happened to me over the weekend. I was at California State University, and thank you very much for hosting me, California State University. And it was a lovely program, but I felt really kind of overwhelmed by it. It was about fake news, and it was me and Amy Holmes, who was also a conservative, and then two liberals, a liberal sociology professor, I think it was, and I can't remember what the other one was, but they were both liberals, but they were both liberals who didn't know they were liberals. They just thought they were kind of normal, nice people, and this is nothing that's personal about this, but I was stunned by the way the cloud of narrative just surrounded us, so that I felt like a crank for pointing out when people were saying things that I just didn't think were true. So like, for instance, we were talking to young people. I don't know if they were high school students or young college students, but they would say, well, how can we defend ourselves against fake news? And people would say, well, go to the established sites like CNN. And I would say, but CNN is a left-wing station, and everybody would roll their eyes. Oh, there's the old conservative. But CNN is a left-wing station. I mean, it is a left-wing station. They would say, go to PolitiFact. PolitiFact, the Federalist once did a very, very close computer study of PolitiFact and showed that the way they treat Republicans is much, much different than the way they treat Democrats, and that all their most honest politicians are Democrats and all their least honest politicians are Republicans. And unless you believe that Democrats lie less than Republicans, which just on the face of it is nonsense, you have to know that PolitiFact is a left-leaning organization. And that's why I feel like nobody should censor fake news, because nobody is completely objective. Let the people learn how to get information. But it was just really, let me just play this piece of CNN covering Kamala Harris. Okay, there's CNN, and there's a CBS reporter in here too, I think, covering Kamala Harris, and they go and help her buy a jacket.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that time they went out and helped Donald Trump buy a tie. You remember, oh, wait, that never happened. And it never will happen. And this cloud, what really struck me about this panel was how hard it was for me to simply say, I didn't want to be the frog in the salad, as hard it was to me to simply say that some of these things that you know to be true are not true. Everybody, all three of them were talking about Pizzagate. Pizzagate was, of course, you remember, the conspiracy theory that Hillary Clinton was running child sex ring through this Washington, D.C. pizza parlor. That was dumb. At the time, I said it was dumb. I remember right-wingers, sending me all kinds of hate mail, telling me how awful it was, and obviously this was a true story. It was obviously a false story. But the pizza parlor in question was owned by the former lover of David Brock. David Brock is a smear merchant. He used to be a right-wing smear merchant. Now he's a left-wing smear merchant. He is the guy who has been the main power, the Soros-funded power behind the crusade to censor fake news on social media, which is all means censoring conservatives. No left-winger has ever thrown off Twitter or Facebook. Only guys like Knowles. Jeremy Boring, the God King of the Daily Wire, was thrown off for making a joke about cabbage. That doesn't happen to liberals. David Brock was the guy. So there's some question, at least, of whether Pizzagate, which was believed by idiots on the right, but whether it was started by people on the left as part of a plan to make fake news an issue. Remember, fake news became an issue because a organization funded by Alphabet, the people who own Google, and the second biggest contributors to the Hillary Clinton campaign, they started the campaign. This is all from Cheryl Atkinson's book, Smear. And they started the campaign, and then Barack Obama took up the campaign saying, we have to censor fake news. We have to get people to curate fake news. Then Hillary Clinton took it up, and then David Brock. And it was David Brock, whose ex-lover ran the pizza parlor. And when the guy walked in and shot up the pizza parlor, that's when this became a big, big issue. All I'm saying is there's a lot of things that people know that aren't true. And when you have, I have a lot of information about the media and the way the media works. And when you have that information, you find yourself just kind of cranking about it. And that's the power of narrative. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit more tomorrow about how powerful narrative is over history, because the things that happen without the majority actually supporting them are amazing. It's not the majority that moves things. It's the vocal minority who owns the culture. My battery is running low and it's getting dark. I got to go. I'm Andrew Klavan. This is the Andrew Klavan Show. I'll see you tomorrow.